Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Emilie Giffard, working for the company called Giffard, crafting delicious liqueurs, syrup, and Mont Pasty that you are here today since 1885, and I'm part of the 5th generation of this family business, working on the brand strategy and the innovative project for the company since a few weeks now. I will start because today, I will say today conference is about sustainable development, sustainability, and I thought it was interesting to first look back at what is sustainable development, and I think United Nations definition could be a good one. Sorry. So the definition is development which meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own need. So this is what is sustainability for the United Nations, and I think it's the most global definition that you can find. And at Giffard, this definition resonates a lot because we are a family business. The business was created in 1885 by Emilie Giffard, my grandfather. And at the time, he was a pharmacist, and he distilled this first mint liqueur in this pharmacy. And then he turned his pharmacy into a distillery. And since 5 generations, the company put sustainable development in the heart of the business model, respecting the nature and human value, favoring time on the project. And this was the key ingredients to ensure the longevity of the company. And our aim at the company is to be there still for many generations. So it's really key in every action to be sure that we will give an healthy planet and a healthy company to future generations. So sustainability for Giffard is not just something that the brand needs, but it's something that the company needs. And I think it's really key to have in mind. It's that it's not a brand that needs a sustainable strategy, but it's a company. Because to be sustainable, you need to work with all your stakeholders. And so this is some example of stakeholders, but you need first, as a brand, as a company, to identify them. But it will be your employee, your local people, your suppliers, your retailers, your logistics, all the people that are around your company. And with each of them, you need to work and see how you can be more sustainable together. So to give you an example of what we do at Giffard, we aim to grow, but with what we call a positive impact. So to have a positive impact on all our stakeholders, so on the people, but also on the planet. And we have 4 pillars on this strategy. The first one is a sustainable economical and financial policy. So this means that we are a 100% family-owned company. We are independent financially, and we invest on the long term. The second pillar is to protect the environment. So to protect the nature, we have eco-bolt products. For example, last year we have reduced the weight of all our syrup bottles to save energy in the making of the bottle, but also to save energy on the transport. We have built several years ago now a new syrup factory that was eco-bolt. So with the water reduction, solar panels on the roof, all the lights of the building have been made in a certain way that they use the minimum energy as possible. And also we have several projects to reduce the carbon footprint with the aim at one point to be neutral. The third point that I will develop a bit more after is that we are committed toward a sustainable agriculture. All our products come from plants and fruits, and for us it's key to have a sustainable buying and relationship with farmers, those who produce the fruits and plants we bought. And we work the most as possible with local producers. We are a French company, and 65% of our ingredients come from France. So for sure, if we have a banana liqueur, it won't come from France. But as much as we can, we try to buy everything from France. And when it's not the case, we have some projects like the one I will explain after, where we try to make these plants grow in France. And then with our farmers, we try to implement multiple years agreements. So from their economical point of view, it's good as well for the farmers. And the last pillar of our strategy is to care and to empower people. And this means our own employee, but also the partner we work with. That can be a wholesaler, that can be a distributors, but also the local people with some charity works we implement. And I will say the key ingredients of the Giffard recipe is the time. I think sustainable development needs time, and it's what we use at Giffard. So as we take the right time to extract flavor of our liqueurs. So for some fruits it's 3 months, for some fruits it's 1 day. So it's the same for all the projects we implement in the company. Some projects are quick, some projects are long, on several years, but you need this time to implement that project that will make a change. So to show you an example, it's how you can work with one of your stakeholders. We were in 2010. No, sorry, it was the wrong slide. It's been changed. So it was a project that started in 2007 that we called From Field to Bottle. It was an idea of my dad, Bruno, and my aunt Edith, to acclimate some Mitcham mint, which is a specific mint in France. So Montpassy, this is our iconic liqueur created by my grandfather in 1885. And since the beginning, he used a specific mint called Mitcham, and it was not grown in France. And Angers, where the company is famous for aromatical and medicinal plants, but no mint, Mitcham mint, was growing there. So they had this idea to make Mitcham mint grow in Angers. And so the project started in 2007, so there is an error on the slide, with this idea, and they got in contact with a research institute locally, and during almost 4 years they have done some trials with them in order to learn about the plants, to get some knowledge and to see how they could acclimate this mint in Anjou. And the first positive result was in 2011 with microculture. So it was a small field done by the research center that was successful. And so they harvest the mint, they made the first distillation, and it was fit for Montpassy. So from that, they started to get in contact with local farmers, and they work with one farmers, and during 3 years they made some new trials for real harvest. And it's only in July 2013 that the harvest was the first harvest was successful. So since this date, we now collaborate with 2 other farmers in the area. So we have more fields with them to grow Mitcham mint to make our Montpassy. And to say that sustainable development and projects are never ending, it's this year we had a really drought, really lack of water, as I think everyone in Europe. So now we continue to work with the same research institute and the farmers on how to cope with all the challenge that the climate, the change on the climate will bring us. So especially on how to manage better the water on the fields. So this is, I would say, a long-term project, and it was key as a company to implement it. And I think 2 things to remember on these projects to succeed is first, you need to really collaborate closely with your partners, because you need to understand and learn from each other. So we learn from the farmers, we learn from the research institutes, and they also learn from us as a liquorist. And then you need to have a vision that comes from also as a management, because the project is in the time, And so to be sure it will continue to have the vision of the management is key also to succeed. And last, just a few words or a few tips, I will say, to implement a sustainable strategy for your company is first to think long term, then to work together because we go further together and be close to your partner and stakeholders. The third one is to open your eyes, follow all the technology, innovation news, join some CSR discussion groups. A lot of solutions are still under development, so sometimes there is no need to rush into implementing something. It's better to wait for 1 or 2 years that the right technology is available, and this technology will really enable your company to make some progress. So it's really important to open your eyes and be part of the ecosystem with all what is happening on the market. And I will say the last common tips maybe is to trust the future.